did the surgery, but on the show
Yeah,
they
we
said I
did.
didn't.
We're back here with part 3. Did we do the surgery or did we not do the surgery? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, a little bit. They said on the show they didn't do it, but they actually did it. Just
Do you have any reason why they?
I don't know.
But she thinks they're gonna save her for bigger things.
Well, I'm hoping that they're going to bring me back on the show and help me with this problem with my right eye, because I've actually been told I can lose that eyesight out of this eye if it doesn't get corrected.
Really?
So that would be a really big deal for
I mean,
me.
they did some remarkable work on your face when compared to what originally must have looked like.
I've been very blessed. I mean, I really have. It's just that I can really see there's still a lot of,
Is there pain?
sometimes in the eye. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
So-
just curious about the pain. And do you have to take
No,
medicine?
I don't take medication.
Didn't it you had a laser thing done too?
Well, right now they're,
Didn't you have a laser thing done too?
no, well, yes, right now, the Dr. David Alessi, who did the last procedure, and he's a wonderful human being, did see that I'm having issues with the right eye from the surgery, so he's offering me complimentary. They're trying to do a laser treatment on there that is going to help actuate the healing process.
Oh.
But sometimes it's a problem, sometimes like right now it's fine, but all of a sudden you'll see tears are just start streaming down that eye, and it will burn and it is irritated.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I was just very blessed that I didn't lose my eyesight. I was very blessed that I did not lose my eyesight at the time of the accident of my life. I mean, the kick just missed my temple. I mean, it's all right into here and all into this one side of my face. It missed my temple by maybe a quarter of an inch. I was just dead.
Sorry about those wannabe hot dogs out there. Now, how did they come about with the horse? Were you on them? Did he balk?
No. I was the owner of the horse wanted me to hold the bridle of the horse so he could put the saddle on.
Right.
And then when I just stepped forward to take the bridle, the horse reared up and with its front hoof struck me.
Wow.
Which is,
So.
with my whole life and as many horses as I've owned and had and ridden, even very, very spirited, kind of crazy horses, I've never seen a horse rear up and strike you. That was an act of violence, and it almost killed me.
Did you have perfume or anything like that?
No.
No, I'm saying because there's.
No.
What do you think made the horse
He
do
told
that?
me, the owner had told me he thought that it had been a racehorse, he thought it had been abused, and actually I thought the horse should have been put down because he was dangerous, but when the owner came to see me in the hospital, all he said that they did was take him off his grain. So I don't even know anymore what happened to that horse, but it should have been put down. And I'm an animal activist. I love animals. I like to save their lives, and I have saved many, many dogs' lives over the years. But an animal that will strike you with its front hoof like that, I really do believe it's dangerous and it should not be living.
Well, no, it should be maybe kept away from people. I mean, people have their reasons for striking. Like you said, maybe the horse was abused and didn't know. And there's 3 sides to every story: yours, mine, and then there's the truth. So, I mean, I don't think we ought to just put the animal down. I'd rather put a human being down.
Well, normally I would say that, but if you've ever been almost killed by an animal, then I don't think you're going to wish it longevity, happy life. I just think it should be put out of its
do we have a
misery.
little grudge match here?
I guess you have the same feeling for your ex-husband.
I don't entertain a lot of nice thoughts.
Nice
about
thoughts.
it. But I have a lovely son and a lovely daughter-in-law. He's married to she was a very successful model in Paris and in England and Japan. She's beautiful.
Is your son in this country or
He's in Northern California.
Northern California?
Yes.
so he doesn't worry about Hollywood.
No, but I think he was real excited that I came out on E.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, he had a very hard time finding it, like everybody else. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's seen it yet. That's why I need to get a copy as soon as possible.
Well, he promised you, so you'll get it. It is and it's not even on. I don't know if it's called the E channel anymore, is it? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They've had so many name changes.
Well, they've even showed this on E Entertainment, or Entertainment Tonight, because Entertainment Tonight, I understand, owns E.
I was gonna say, I think they own it.
So there was little clips that came out on E Entertainment Tonight. I didn't see it, but people have told me.
I saw the common attractions was for boobs. You know.
I'm a little embarrassed about that.
Your boobs? No, they weren't talking about your boobs.
No. But I mean, I don't understand people that put so much plastic in their bodies to where I feel that it could really affect their health.
Or you know the same.
And I don't understand why that makes them feel good about themselves. I would, I want people to see that my thing is my face. I mean, I know men look at the face. That's really
Well,
important.
Not always.
Not always.
The face is very important, and I've always felt like I was sort of handicapped.
To be
by the
perfectly
sex.
honest, I'm a breast man myself. Sometimes.
So do you
I-
like those
I-
humongous things?
Well, not that big, but you know.
I think it's a freak.
I see
Sorry,
nice
a
breasts
freak.
and.
There is
I'm
a
in
girl
love.
on that show that was like amazing. She was so big they couldn't even hardly zip her.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did.
saw that, yeah.
I did love the story of the lady that had cancer and had her breast removed.
Right. Yeah.
And
that
I
was
thought she was
very
beautiful,
touching.
and I thought she had a great story, and I thought she was really great on camera.
When she
And
came out at the end there in the swimming pool party.
beautiful, you know.
In the bikini.
To me, that was something I would like to see, you know. And I think my story, although even though it was botched, just like the name of the show, because they didn't even, some things weren't. I mean, they said I had multiple facelifts. That is an out-and-out lie. I had not, and maybe I admitted that to the doctor because I was nervous or something. I've had multiple reconstructive attempts to restore the right
So
side
they
of my
just
face.
changed the word. Say, oh, we thought you meant. They have to say something that makes them look good.
I have had one facelift, and I've had multiple reconstructive surgeries on the right side of my face. That is the truth.
I've been, it's funny you talk about facelifts and all that. I've been using coconut oil, and I use it on. This woman asked me if I had my eyes done. And because I've been using coconut every morning, I put the coconut oil on my face. I put it all over my body, but and I eat it and everything. And
It's very good for you. I do
But
coconut oil.
it has. I've noticed I don't get puffy eyes.
It's good for your hair. It's good for.
I put it on my hair, put it all over.
Right.
It
I
it
put it
For
does.
frying.
I put it on
I
my
do, I cook
legs
with
when
it.
I lay out in the sun.
I do. I cook with it, and when I make tea,
I cook.
I put it in with my tea.
It's got a lower boiling point, so that before it, so you can fry things.
Yeah, well, I put it in with my tea.
Between
My tea.
olive oil for light frying, but for heavy frying.
Olive oil and I tell you what's great for the sun is olive oil and vinegar.
Oh, I was gonna say
No, the vinegar takes the sting out. It's an old Italian thing we see in New York on
What
the
do you mean,
roof.
olive oil and vinegar?
Yeah,
On your
like
on your body?
Yes.
For when you're
gives you a
getting
great
suntan?
tan, and it takes the burn.
Any kind of vinegar? Apple
White
cider?
vinegar, apple cider, it doesn't matter.
Well, you can always make dressing if you don't.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to eat shit. When you're laying on the beach. No, but I use it. It's an old thing. Tar Beach, we used to call it, which is the roof in New York.
May I just interject one little thing about the
No.
thing that came out on E that also is not true? When I was 2.5 years old, a child threw me down off of a flatbed truck. We were playing on top of it, and I wanted to get down, and she grabbed my hand, and she threw me down onto the cement, and my nose was broken and extremely crooked, and I lived with that disfigurement for years. And so I have had several rhinoplasties to make it straight and so that I could breathe. I have not had multiple rhinoplasties, but I did have an injury, which is the reason I had my nose fixed, because
When did you have that done?
in Japan in 80.
Before you.
When I was in Japan, I lived in Japan for
So you
5
had a
years.
broken nose for years?
It affects your breathing and
Yes.
speaking.
Yes.
I've had it broken so many times. I don't know how many.
You were a fighter?
Yeah.
Did you have cauliflower ears?
No, not yet. But I knew a lot of the old time guys, had that, the cauliflower ears. But it's a broken nose. Yeah, it doesn't look broken. It looks.
Well, it has been fixed through
You did a good job.
plastic
Whoever you're going to
surgery.
does a good job.
But I didn't go through multiple. I'm not a cosmetic addict like some people. If you can do something to fix something that was injured or disfigured, or you can enhance yourself in little ways, I think why not? It's a good idea. We're in show business. We're in Hollywood. I mean, it's important to look good.
If you want to do some roles, what would you like to do in acting? What would you really like to play?
I'm really good with bitchy roles. I'm really good with sexy roles. I'm really
Well,
good
bitchy and
with,
sexy go together, don't they?
Not always, but could be.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually that's the one. The femme fatale is always sexy and beautiful and bitchy.
Remember that character I had to do?
Yeah.
That was fun.
What was that like for you? And you just use personal history or what?
I just try to be a brat.
You thought of being
I
a
just
brat?
thought of being
you
a
can
brat.
do that very well.
It was fun.
Yeah, you can do it very well.
It was fun.
Because you can still be a brat sometimes.
Yeah, I like it.
But because the camera does love you.
Thank you.
I mean, when she gets at you, you look at her and it just goes right to her.
And she's also a really good actress.
I saw
I've
that.
seen her
I seen when I
and stuff.
a little bit. I saw. And is my. It took me months to get them, but now they love my little hummingbirds.
Oh.
They come around.
Yeah, it's nice to have that.
Well, I like to feed the birds and the hummingbirds.
It's good for you.
Yeah,
It's
it
good
keeps me.
luck.
Is it good luck?
Yes.
I'm still living alone. Maybe that's the luck.
Yeah.
That's the luck. You haven't had a creepy person around you.
Still around. So
You're
what do
in
you
good
girls?
company when you're by yourself.
What do you girls do
Joycelyn
for
and I have a
excitement?
lot in common.
What like
We're
what?
both horse traders.
What do you mean horse
we
traders?
Both, we both have real estate and we're both living with our tenants. And believe me, we both have stories about that. And we're both actresses, models, and what else? A lot of things.
Well,
We have
we
in
like to
common.
travel.
And you both. And do you rent to actors? I heard on your show when you produced, you said you wanted to rent to actors, and I didn't see on that film you made. You said at the beginning you wanted to rent to people in the arts.
Well, I'm trying to, but nobody wants to go to the ghetto, and live. I mean, I don't
They're
exactly
afraid.
blame them, but I've lived there for 14 years and survived, and it's not been unkind to me. Just some of the people that I can get to move in have been troublemakers.
And you rent to people that work for you. Right?
She's
No,
she's had
nobody-
troublemakers too.
No, nobody that works for me lives in my much. Well, except
Really?
no, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't live with me.
Not with you in that house that
No.
we shot.
Oh no, he was living with his girlfriend, but they broke up, and that's what happened. I don't know what he's doing right now because it changes.
Oh, so do you rent to actors and things like that too?
Well, mostly I rent to people in business, but a lot of our art, well, they could be entertainers that are there just on vacation, or they're interns with production companies. I don't really know who's going to answer. I have different people.
Now you
They're all good.
you have two phones. In case you could see here, she did my hair. We were shooting the movie last week, and then she says, your hair's too long, too messed up. Who cut your hair?"
Multi-talented.
And she, inside of 2 minutes, she did this.
She
And
does hair, she does
did it
makeup,
wonderful.
But you didn't put your
and she has
before
a
picture.
printing business.
I couldn't get it up. You sent it to me.
okay. No.
Really? I was
That's
trying. Well, anybody can look at any of the other shows from.
okay. If you see the show before, then you'll understand. No.
Right, you see the shows before this one, you'll understand. But actually, I like that look that I had, but I've learned one thing: women know best, and you never argue with a woman. If they tell you change it, change it. I never, and And because I used to look at my face, and they used to say, "What a face!" And I say, "Is that good or bad?" And you had to accept it. So when she says to me, "You need a haircut," I take it for granted instead of saying, "I like it this way."
I'll show Michelle your before.
Well, what I'm saying is that I've learned that she knows she knows her business.
Well, I gave a haircut to a friend of mine who writes for Law and Order, and he said the next day he got 3 compliments. He called me up and said that people, wherever he was going, and it's unusual, I think, for a man to get a hair compliment, especially. Men don't usually get compliments from other men or women, unless there's a reason, because most people don't look at people's hair that much.
Well, they always look at my hair.
Well, your hair is different. You have texture.
I don't like to comb my hair either. I get up in the morning, I just
Well,
take a
I don't
shower.
think
It
you
doesn't
should
look like
have
you
to.
combed it.
I don't.
It's natural,
It's just wherever it goes, it goes.
but it was going.
But I guess, and it was even longer than that for the longest time. And slowly but surely, people keep telling me, to cut it short. Man, okay, I'll try it. But what I'm trying to say is, I have, if a woman, I always believe in women. They've been my teachers all my life, and I've learned not to go against what they say.
Well, men need women, and women
I'll
need
remember
men.
that.
No, really, it's true. My Salome Jens.
She's so,
And she's my idol when it comes to acting.
yeah.
Who was that?
Solomon Jens.
Salome Jens is her name. In Actor Studio, we used to tape the scenes in New York, and I would send them back to Salome, and she would look at them and say, and I would get critique from her. And she says, "John, you were nervous." And I said, I wasn't nervous. And then I just stopped and thought,
Maybe.
this is Salome Jens. She knows. Maybe she's right. And so I listened to it. She told me everything about an audition. Not an audition, but about sometimes why I don't like to talk to people about what they say to come on the show is because we're thinking about it, what we want to say, instead of just relaxing and let it come out.
Right,
And that's what acting is about.
right,
Relax and let it come out.
right.
And because we don't do that, right? These are the things I learned,
It's also the discovery of, you're finding out stuff, and if we already tell you, then you won't be asking the questions.
And then,
to make it fresh.
It's true, yeah. And you're directing yourself is what I tell what it really is. Because it's not real anymore.
Yeah, it's in the moment.
That's it.
Well, remember what I said about acting is reacting. It's
Right.
not just you with your monologue. It's like, if you ask me a question one way, I would answer you one way. But if you ask me a different way, I'd have to give you a different attitude, because maybe I would feel differently towards the way you expressed yourself to me.
That's
I
100%
remember
right.
when I was doing that scene, how he changed a little bit when I changed.
And you did to her too.
Yeah.
When she would change you and this and that. That's what it is, trying to be and as an actor, when you have a director who's making so many takes, and when you have this camera, which is digital, so they don't run out of film. So they really can take as many takes as they want. And so you gotta keep it fresh. How do you do that?
Well, because I don't pre-think it. When you're going to say something to me, I'm going to give it to you. Like the way I feel that you have given it to me, I give it back.
Right.
And that way it makes sense, because remember when I was behind the door, and he was like, and I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
What? It just depends on how you yell at me is how I'll yell back.
Or else frustration of so many takes.
No.
Well,
was that.
Well, the audience doesn't know that.
Yeah.
They just hear what's coming out, but it could be when I'm talking to you now, I'm thinking about, boy, why don't she shut up? And I'm thinking about somebody else, and they don't know that. I'm not looking at you like that, and I'm thinking of something else.
Well, you have a history in your brain.
Right.
Of what.
But the
triggers
camera
you
sees that
to
it's
act.
moving.
Some people are
Something's
like,
going on inside their head. That's the history of the key for acting is.
and some of your attitude can be because you have a backstory. Like if somebody is very sensitive, let's say about your face, and somebody says something, you're like, what about it, you know? And I don't, you know, it could be something that has nothing to do with what you think it is. Like, you know, people are paranoid about some things, and they're sensitive towards some things, and somebody might say something like, you'll say, what, you're talking about me, and I'm like, we're not even talking about you, but he thinks it.
Yeah.
And so that's why you can have a backstory that creates a different scenario in your head to make you react differently.
And that's what method is. It's your method for working. And it's really interesting. And I'm telling you, this book, there's an exercise in here, Uta Hagen's book, A Challenge to the Actor. And if you get it, there's an exercise in here, I don't want to look at it now, but what it does, when you go home tonight, you just reenact. Sit there and reenact in your mind everything that we did today. How you felt, especially, you know what, I'll tell you a good exercise. What was it like being in the bathroom changing?
It's nice.
No, I mean, it's nice, but what did it feel like? Did you feel the heat? Did you feel this ending here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just felt.
You did feel things.
I felt good because I think this is a beautiful color, and it really, you know, looks good.
How does it make you feel, this blue?
It makes me feel very sexy.
Yeah, well, okay. So that's it. When you need to feel sexy sometime, you'll think of that blue dress. A great way to feel, like, you know, when they tell you to speed it up. You know, you got to speed it up, we're going too fast. The best thing in the world that I found, and it's not coming from me, it's coming from way back at Actor's Studio. Think of the cold. When you're cold, all of a sudden you start talking fast. And when you have to slow it down, you think of the heat. And heat is great for being sexy.
It's pretty
I
hot.
think Tennessee Williams, yes. But I mean, you know, when it's hot, you slow down. And you feel it. And you just, that's what the exercise of acting is all about. Is feeling these things and remembering what they feel like. So when you need it. Because technique, all you need technique is for is when you're stuck. Acting should be just reacting.
Right.
All this other stuff is when you're stuck and you have to reproduce something. That's what these techniques and the exercises are for, so that you can do it. And keep doing. She did it, and so I was watching because he took a lot of takes of you. Yeah.
He kept saying, do it again.
Do it again, do it again.
Because he wanted to take close-ups and far,
Right, yeah.
boom, shoot it, shoot. But I didn't get to shoot the one when I said, you can't make me. That was so funny. You know, it's almost like there were comedic moments that weren't really supposed to be funny, but I just think people were laughing. You were laughing.
Yeah, because that's what comedy is. Comedy is, if you think about it, comedy is tragedy.
But I love comedy.
You know,
You're good at comedy.
Yeah.
you know, comedy is really something when you're telling me something very serious, and we're laughing, and you say, "What the fuck you laughing at?" See, that's the comedy.
Right, right,
Because you're dead serious.
right,
But I laugh at it if it's funny.
right.
To me, that's what comedy is all about. And nervous energy is another one, but you take Neil Simon and it's that. I mean, he writes funny. If you play it funny, it doesn't work.
Right. It's so much funnier if you just are serious.
Straight, be real. And this is serious stuff I'm talking about. And that's what makes it funny. That's what makes comedy. And if you play it, and then when you're serious, you're not serious, and you play it comedy, funny, then that works too. The opposite. It's a trick, but it's just being real, no matter what you do. And it's so easy that it's complicated. Because we learn, you know, there's an old saying: the more you learn as an actor, the less you do. That's why I don't like to talk to people, because they start directing themselves, you know, in scenes and stuff
right.
like that.
I can see that.
I'm not a big fan on you and I rehearsing together. I like to learn our lines if we have a scene and then do it maybe once or twice in rehearsal and then do it. Because then when you shock somebody, you come out real. You know, there's things you do in a scene. At that moment, you know, what do I do? James Dean was well known for that when especially in East of Eden, when he grabbed Raymond Massey, who was playing his father. And that wasn't in the script, that wasn't supposed to be. And Raymond Massey didn't know how to handle it. He wasn't. If you watch that scene, you'll see Raymond Massey like this. He didn't know what to do.
But that gives you tension.
And not only that, but it makes it real. That it was such a powerful moment. It's like your own father doesn't, or somebody you love. They didn't know how to show you love, and here you are asking, begging for it. It made it work because it was real, and it was a thing. I just loved it. I did that when I was doing Death of a Salesman. I was playing Biff, and I remember the scene when he's talking to his father. And I did that. I don't know where it came from, but I grabbed him. It was with Ed Binns, the actor, and he didn't know how to react to that. He did this. It's funny, he did the same thing Nancy did. Where's this coming? This wasn't in the script. You're not supposed to be doing this. But it was so real, and it worked. It was just me. I didn't do it again. I had an actor. I was playing a killer in a movie, and I had to talk to him. And one time I kissed him on the lips. And I says, the next time it won't be so nice.
That's funny.
It wasn't in the script, but it's those things like Art the Pen told me, break the rules. And I'm a big fan of that, break the rules. And I always remember that scene. They didn't use it, but everybody talked about it afterwards. The kiss, they called it.
The deadly kiss.
Next time it won't be so nice. You could have so much fun being an actor. And your life, the wonderful thing about your life is all your pain.
A lot to draw from.
It's
Absolutely.
a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
That's why I love acting, is I think, wow, this is a time when I can express some of those feelings that I've been holding in for so many years.
Well, you're right by writing it out. You get it out that way. That's one way to get it out.
Right.
It's to write about it. But it is a gift, and people don't realize that all that pain is an actor's gift.
See how lucky you are, Michelle?
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Like the horse. They shoot horses, don't they? Great movie. Did you see that? Ever see that movie?
No.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah. They shoot horses, don't they? Because I had a friend of mine, Charlene Jones. I'll never forget. She remember the Actors Studio. And this guy was complaining about, the agents and this and that and blah, 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 bing, bada, bang. And she turned to him, she said, you don't have to be an actor. Which
That's
is
a
true.
good one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you don't have to. I think about it. This is the longest legit job I ever had in my life. Since 1985. I've been a member of SAG. And I'm looking at him, I'm in poverty, I'm broke. And I think, here I want to work and I can't work.
Right.
That reminds me of my friend who went to this nursing home, and this old lady was so happy. And she said, why are you so happy? And she said, well, I'd just as soon be happy as not, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's true.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. Is that from May East?
No.
No, she goes right into it.
But it could be.
It could be. She goes right into it. All right, ladies. I think we did great shows, and what a pleasure. And you're really welcome back.
Thank you.
No, really. The one thing I want to do with this show, too, and I was thinking about it when you were coming over, was there's a lot of stories out there that need to be told besides talking about the work, how we work. We can get into a little bit of that. But there are tragic stories out there that people want to get out there. And I really encourage people you're out there to get in touch with me. Come on. And we'll talk about it. Let it out. Because there's very few places that outside of a psychiatrist. Really, or one of them therapists that you can go to where you can go out there. Maybe it helps somebody out there by coming on the show and talking about it. Hopefully. Because I had people come and tell me that people, especially casting directors, people have told me casting directors like this show because they get to know who you are. They know when you go to read, they know who the character is, but they don't know who Joycelyn is. And they don't know who. I keep wanting to call you Marilyn. Why is that? Why do I keep wanting to call you Marilyn? Michelle.
Right.
You know, every time I look at you, I think of Marilyn. And they want to know who you are. That's what they want. Because I always tell